Aquí usa uno de sus seguidores una fotografía de mi hijo.
For Mary Montes, a photo of her son posted next to a nasty message crossed the line, the work of an online attacker.
Un acoso que consiste.
It's a harassment campaign meant to discredit me. Everything he said is overly misogynistic. Of course, this affects me. It affects my reputation. It affects my family.
The Miami-based journalist says she's faced offensive threats and messages from a stalker and his followers via social media since 2018. They tried to discredit her work as a sports journalist at first, but Montes says the online attacks grew more frequent and intense, and eventually included physical threats.
La primera coach de bateo de Miguel.
The journalist says followers of the stalker, who is in Venezuela, took photos of Montes and her family in Miami. The stalker then shared them on social media.
Que las mujeres no pueden hablar de pelota.
They would say that women can't talk about baseball, that I don't know anything about it. I have nothing to prove regarding my knowledge of baseball, but the personal attacks on my reputation, my marriage, my children, that's another thing.
Montes alerted U.S. authorities, but because her aggressor is outside the country, there's little they can do. Her case is not an isolated experience. A joint study by the International Center for Journalists, or ICFJ, and UNESCO found 73% of the female journalists surveyed experienced online violence. Nabila Shavir is one of the study's researchers.
Voices are being chilled of key women journalists who are trying to just simply do their work.
Online abuse and threats can take a psychological toll and lead to self-censorship on critical issues, say experts.
Female colleagues have stopped posting on social media, and some have even left journalism because of these attacks. Ultimately, that's their goal, to intimidate and silence you.
And the perpetrators of online harassment come from many sources.
You have governments, you have, sort of authoritarian leaders. Then you have a number of non-state actors. And then there's sort of just like the sort of classic, you think of like the troll in the basement who's just like out here like taunting people.
Experts say online targeting of journalists is frequent, but female reporters are singled out with more gendered attacks.
They're being critiqued for appearance, or they're being critiqued for lack of intelligence, or perceived like something that is specifically tied to the fact that they are a woman, which then makes them, like less credible in the eyes of the attacker.
The ICFJ study found 1 in 5 female journalists reported being attacked or abused offline in cases that stemmed from earlier online harassment. Experts say measures to protect journalists and to hold those responsible accountable are urgently needed. Until then, groups like the Coalition Against Online Violence offer online tools and support. Julia Riera, VOA News.